This is going to be a quick step-by-step guide on how to get yourself prepared for the Vault of Glass. I'm going to take you through every single encounter and tell you the weapons I recommend you use and the class I recommend you use. This is mainly going to be for a Titan, and excuse my voice, I have a cold. So, first encounter is to open the vault itself. As you spawn, there will be 3 plates, one on the left, one on the right, one in the middle. Divide yourself into teams of 2. And then all you need to do is stand in the plate and wait for it to rise. And everyone in the plate in sync, it will rise the spire. The spire will be a big tall tower in the middle. That will take roughly about 3 minutes to complete. About 3 minutes, 2.5. Now as you're building the spire, Vex will spawn from all around you. Just kill them as quickly as possible. I recommend a rocket launcher. So Eyes of Tomorrow will be really good. Xenophage is also good. I like Cluster Bomb Rocket Launcher because it does that area of effect damage. If you don't have a good enough rocket launcher, use something like Commemoration with Reconstruction. Anything with Dragonfly is helpful as well because of that explosive damage. So, this is a quick tip. I think that Overload Minotaurs will replace Praetorians. Because Praetorians in D1 were really easy to kill, and they're the main threat in this encounter. They try and come up to the plate and stop the spire from synchronizing and to slow the encounter down. So I think that Overload Minotaurs will replace Praetorians. So make sure you have Overload mods equipped. So this season is Overload Hand Cannon or Submachine Gun, and you can find the Overload mods in your artifact. Make sure it's leveled up. So make sure you got a decent amount unlocked. And now, for the Overload Submachine Gun, I'll recommend the Ikelos SMG. I don't know how you say it, but this SMG is insane. Or a Palindrome. This is my PvP. I prefer Subsistence Thresh for PvE. That's my PvP one. Or just anything like 7th Sierra. The hand cannon is really good, but submachine gun you really want to use Ikelos because that is really good. So once you've done that first encounter, you will enter the vault, and then you will do the little maze. There will be 2 chests that you can find if you remember the way. I will be streaming the thing tomorrow, showing where the chests are. Do not open the chests until you do your third character run, because the chests only give you what you unlock, and you don't unlock anything in the raid until like I think the oracles. So leave the chests as they are, then you can come back to them and then open them up. So the first encounter of the Vault of Glass inside it is the Confluxes. This is really any weapon you want really. It's just defend, because once you enter the Templar's room, you'll have to defend the Conflux in the middle first, and then he will spawn his wave of fanatics, which if they harm you, if you go in their green goo, then you have to cleanse yourself. There'll be a pool of light in the middle of the room, you can't miss it. You have to cleanse yourself, blah blah blah. And then once you do that round, you have to defend the Conflux on the left and the right. Once you do that, the fanatics will come out, then you got to defend all 3, and that's that encounter done. A weapon I recommend highly is this beauty right here, Witherhoard. This will be really useful because they clamp up and spawn right close to each other. So Witherhoard would be amazing, I reckon, in this encounter. Anarchy is also good for when the fanatics come out. You know, Anarchy the middle, make a little triangle. They'll be stuck in that hole that they really can't escape from it. Alright, next encounter is one of the hardest encounters of the raid, and it's Oracles. Oracles, now, unless they change spots, like locations in D2, like the D1 locations, there's only 6, I believe. There's 6 or 7. There's 3 on the left, 3 on the right, and they're really easy spots to memorize. You'll hear a little chime as well for each of the oracles. And a weapon I recommend a lot is Fallen Guillotine. 1 slash will do a lot of damage for it. Also, any slug shotgun like the Deepstone Crypt shotgun, or even Felwinter's. Just any type of slug shotgun or sword to take him out as quickly as possible, because oracles, I think, will have a lot of health in this new raid. So once you do all that, I think there's about 7 waves of oracles. And also watch out for the snipers that spawn around you. So a good sniper, I recommend you use, like commemorate. That's the Succession. That's it. The Deepstone Crypt sniper. So that's the oracle encounter spoken about. Now the Templar boss fight. So when you pick up the relic, someone picks up the relic, and they're in charge of taking down the Templar's shield. Now the Templar will hit like a truck, because you're always, on the first 24 hours, you're capped at 1300 light. That's no matter what you're wearing, so even if you're 1311 like I am, you will be capped at 1300 for this 24-hour completion. So I think linear fusion rifles are the way to go for this boss fight. Linear fusion rifles. You don't want a rocket launcher, because whenever the relic holder destroys the shield from the Templar, remember you get that Vex dome around you that prevents you from moving, and you can't shoot anything unless you take it down. So some people could be forgetful and blow themselves up. Yeah, someone like Izanagi's or a good sniper, but you need to make sure your precision is on point. That's why I recommend linear fusion rifles. I don't know what mods will be good for it. Like these two aren't masterworked, so I'm thinking which one should I use. I might use Tarantula, not for over a threaded needle. But yeah, linear fusion rifles is what I recommend, and someone dropped like an Anarchy for this bad bit right here, Breach and Clear. Breach and Clear is so good because it like increases your damage by I think 20%, and it's like really useful. So if someone has Breach and Clear, and like Thunder Crash might be good as well, like if you had a few Thunder Crashes, but you gotta remember about the bubble dome that surrounds you once you take the shield down. You just want to do as much damage as possible to the Templar. And then, because it's the first 24 hours will be very hard because you're capped at 1300, he will teleport. There's no doubt about it that it's quite impossible, not impossible, but it's really hard to prevent him from teleporting. It is possible to prevent him from teleporting, but it'll be very hard since your light will be so low that it will take a couple of tries. So don't get frustrated if you do like 25% health. That's considered a good amount, because he doesn't stay there for long. He teleports after like 10 seconds of damage. So then yeah, honestly that encounter is just watch out for a few oracles here and there. He will summon his legions if you miss an oracle, and you have to get cleansed by the relic holder. And that's about it. Moving on, you have the Gorgon Maze. No weapons are recommended for the Gorgon Maze, just stealth, alright? If the path is the exact same, then it should be an easy route to remember if someone's done the Vault class. Like I said, I'll be streaming it, so if you get stuck on the method, then just let me know, and I will make a separate video on the way you need to go in order to get to the Gorgons. So yeah, once you complete the Gorgon Maze, I recommend you don't mess with the Gorgons because they'll have a stupid amount of health. You will be at the Gatekeeper part. Now, the Gatekeeper part, I recommend snipers. Izanagi's will be really good. I haven't got this bad by Masterworks, unfortunately. I am not even close. Yeah, 18%. Izanagi's with a linear fusion rifle to take him out as quickly as possible, because if you don't take the Gatekeeper out, you can't open the portals to then go and get the relics. So once you take him out, there will be a bunch of I assume there'll be Yellow Bar, Vex, and a few Wyverns probably, because Wyverns are confirmed to be in the raid. I know, it sucks. And then once you take them out, you'll just be like the first encounter where you can stand on the plates, rise them up, and then you'll open a portal to each side. One will go to Venus and one will go to Mars. Divide yourself into teams of 3, left and right, and then open the portals up together, and then one person go in. Actually, I recommend 2 people go in, because there'll be a lot of yellow bars in the portal area. Take them out as quickly as possible. Then the relic will spawn. You pick up the relic for each side, then you come out. So you'll have 2 relics each. Bearing in mind, when you're through the teleporter, you will have like a debuff that prevents you from seeing. You'll go blind after like 20 seconds. So only the relic holder can cleanse you for that. Once you get cleansed, and you have both relics, there will be a conflux in the middle of the room that will spawn, and you have to prevent Vex from sacrificing themselves. A bit like Garden of Salvation. So once you do that, each portal will open up and spawn out Minotaurs. I think there'll be overload Minotaurs or Wyverns. Depends on how annoying Bungie want to be. Take them out. There'll be about four waves of Minotaurs or Wyverns that will come out, and that'll be the encounter done. Then it's Atheon. Now, I don't think you should use rocket launchers, in my opinion, because when you're dealing damage to Atheon, when you're in the relic holder's shield, you can't throw any explosives at him. You have to jump up, and as you're jumping up, you can shoot, but that will mean you have less damage towards him. So, I recommend, if you're a Titan, use Thunder Crash, because there's not really any space for you to use a bubble. Thunder Crash is really good. If you're a Hunter, either use your Tether, top tree, the Tether, or your Stasis, because that will do extra damage. If you're a Warlock, a Well would be very important as well. So once you're on Atheon, the 3 people will get teleported to either Mars or Venus. You call it out, and then one of you in there has to pick up the relic, and then there will be ads in the middle you kill. If you're on Mars, I think there's snipers, and Venus there's like a Minotaur or 2 with a few goblins. It could be different on D2, it could not be different. So once you take them out, a wave of oracles will spawn where you're teleported. So if you're teleported in Mars and you take out all the enemies, a wave of oracles will spawn that you have to take out along the way. And then to the people you called out to, they have to open up the portal for you to get through. So say if you're on Mars, you will stand, I think Mars is on the right, so you would stand on the right and then watch them. You would stand on the plate on the right and then let it rise up so the teleporter can open up, so once they have defeated the oracles they can come through, and then they can be cleansed, because remember they have that darkness debuff when they're in there. The 3 people can be cleansed by the relic holder, and then it's damage. You would hop in the middle of the room, and then the relic holder will hold up his shield, because when it's times vengeance, that's what the buff is called, your super is like, I think it's infinite, or it may be not be infinite. I know that the relic holder super is infinite because you have an unlimited shield, and then times vengeance lasts about 40 seconds, I believe. So if you're quick, you can do about 30 seconds of damage. And yeah, weapons I recommend is an Argy's. Very, very useful it will be. Nothing close like a shotgun, that won't be good. A Dord, if you haven't got Izanagi's, a Dord is really good with both its top trees, because this does a lot more damage. Threaded Needle or Tarantula again. I don't know about 1k being useful, because I don't know if it will blow you up. Xeno will be good. If you haven't got a good linear fusion rifle or Xeno or Commemoration, Anarchy is good. Don't waste your time trying to use a heavy then. Just use double snipers if you can, because there's easily enough enemies for you to kill in order to get your loot back. And then once you do that, you'll probably be a 3 phase for Atheon, and then if you're able to kill him, then the raid is done, and then you've done that in 24 hours. So that's just the loadout. That's just the stuff I recommend, and look at me saying what it's all about. So I'm going to be streaming Vault of Glass tomorrow, the whole raid, and pinpointing anything that I find. It shouldn't be too bad, but we'll see. We know what Bungie's like. Alright, that should be